Good afternoon everybody, it's Rebecca from Hedgerow Stitching. I hope you're all well and having a lovely weekend. I have a video for you today to show you the release of a new sampler I have produced called Elisabeth Addlesee. Now, a while ago I showed you this lovely little antique sampler. Elisabeth Addlesee was aged 10 when she finished this sampler. Unfortunately, Elisabeth didn't put a date of when she finished her sampler or any sort of date on the sampler at all. But when I received the sampler in the mail, on the back of the sampler frame was a date, query 1792. Now, I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, because I have looked at some samplers and they from 1792 and they do have the J after the HI in them and others don't, so I can't be 100% certain that this was an accurate date for this sampler. So unfortunately I haven't been able to find Elisabeth, but I have produced a model and a 6-page chart that's now available on my website hedgerowstitching.com for your stitching pleasure. I will show you the sampler, model sampler. It's stitched with a variety of gentle art thread and 2 weeks dye works. Unfortunately, I did the worst thing in the world and I sprayed my fabric with some very light starch and had a little bit of a mishap, which you will see on the model. However, I think it adds to the flavour of the antique feel of the sampler, so to speak. So this is the model, and what I'm talking about is the Weeks Dye Works blue that I stitched some of the alphabet in and her name and these dark birds. Unfortunately, the dye ran when I had lightly starched it and ironed out the creases. It's very unfortunate. Gentle Arts is dye fast, but Weeks Dye Works, the depth of the dye in the blue was so strong that it just leaked out slightly. However, this is my model. Don't do that with your models, but this is an accurate representation of the original. And I stitched this on 40 count Lakeside linen, 40 count Lakeside in buttercream, but any cream or variation of a cream linen or Ada will suffice. This is cross stitch only, so suitable for Ada and linen stitches. And the measurement on 40 count is 5.5 by 6 inches. And 9 colours are in this chart. Anyway, let me again show you the original. I think it's terribly important if you are researching or restoring or reproducing, whatever you like, whatever your field is, whether it be in textiles or in literature or text, is to always show the original, or even always reference the original piece of work that you are taking or basing your example on. This was Elisabeth's sampler, and mine is obviously my sampler, and you'll be stitching your version of Elisabeth's sampler. But this is where the information comes from. This is Elisabeth's hand, and I feel very honoured to be able to own this sampler, be it all very simple, and be able to reproduce what Elisabeth stitched however many years ago that she stitched this little sampler. So it's always important to reference whatever field you're working in, reference the original, which is why a lot of my charts, or nearly all of my charts, have the original sampler on the front cover. Anyway, after that announcement, going back to Elisabeth, she's now available to stitch. She's only very small. She's a delightful little sampler, and I hope you all enjoy stitching her. Okay, everybody, thank you. Bye-bye.